Hello, a very popular tourist spot in Gooderstone. Today I'm on the end of Chalk Road and I just noticed that the volunteer lengthsman needs to come and wash the signs. And today I've come, my name's Arthur Melhewish, and we've got a bit of a common problem today. And up here, this has been Fen Drove for quite a few hundred years, and it goes down to Fen Charity Land, and that there to my left is Gooderstone Common. And here, since my last video about Area 51, the farmer's gone mad because of my video, and apparently he's been shouting at people about me. He's put up a big private entry, no unauthorized person beyond this point sign. What the problem is here, this is Fen Drove, this here is his boundary, yet the farmer is squatting Fen Drove, and now he thinks it's all his, and he's actually blocking the right of access to Fen Charity Land to walkers and public. But unfortunately, Fen Charity Land, 51 acres, has been public land since it was given to the people for forage long ago. And Fen Charity was here long before this farm was here. So really it's Fen Charity's track, not Mr. Hartley's farm lorry yard track. He's basically squatting a road. If you look on, I found it, Fen Drove Oxborough, and it's on streets, and it's proven that it's under the council, and the bin lorry comes down here to collect his stuff, but it's been turned into a lorry park. I'm now walking down to Fen Charity Land. The last time I made a video and I was down here on the land, I mentioned that I would contact the trustees to tell them that they need their track done. As a volunteer lengthsman, I actually offered and volunteered to help clear and cut the track. See all this stuff here, scrap bin, another scrap bin, none of it's his land. His land is the boundary here. This has just been turned into his yard. This is a bit of a scrap yard. Rosie. Right, to my left we have SSI land, Special Scientific Interest, Gooderstone Common. That there is the entrance to Gooderstone Common, and that there is the entrance to Fen Charity Land. Oh, I can't even see it, but anyway, the entrance and gate, one entrance and gate to Gooderstone Common, which common is public land, it's shared, we have common rights on common land, and it's open public access, which means I'm quite free to walk my dog about in there. I'll have to watch out for the cows, but that is actually common land, which is for humans. You know, I should be able to buy grazing rights on there, which the owner of the land his name is Noel, and he rents out the grazing rights to one grazier, but that is all that's left of Gooderstone Common. Gooderstone, if you look over towards the rape field, that all out there was Gooderstone Common, the other side of the road, and all the way down to Fowden Common, hundreds of acres, was Gooderstone Common, but over the years it's been eroded and ploughed up. So anyway, so I can't see through here. There we go. Shit everywhere. I can still get through, but this is the access to Fen Charity. That's a lorry wash, where he washes his lorries and stuff. Goes in a ditch straight down towards Fen Charity Land, which I don't agree with. Like, I was actually told by my mother, who's the trustee of Fen Charity, not to come down here because I'll upset the farmer. He's upset about my last video because I'm showing people how to get down here. But as far as I'm aware, that this is actually a public footpath, a public road almost. It's known as a white road, it's unowned all the way, but unfortunately for a while Fen Charity haven't sorted their access out, which I'm now coming to. Right, so this is the track down to Fen. Well, we're still on Fen Drove. This is Fen Drove. So what? This should have, like, you couldn't get a car or anything down here now because they've just been a bit slack with the hedge cutting, which means they need a bushwhacker down here and the access cleared, which, as a Gooderstone volunteer, I've offered to help. But this is the access and it must remain open. I've heard some funny stories in the last few weeks about Mr. Hartley trying to tell them that there's no access through here at all. He thinks he owns the top half and he's blocking it all. Which includes, I'm pretty sure, well, unfortunately, here's where a bit of corruption comes in. Mr. Hartley goes down to the pub and he's good friends with Elizabeth Coleman, who's just got on the council, because Libby's got a big mouth. Mr. Hartley now believes he owns Gooderstone Council, and Gooderstone Council says that he owns it. Which is not correct. Like, clearly it's a very old track. I believe this track's been here at least 300 or 400 years, and the purpose was to come down to this, which is Fen Charity. My dog isn't going to like the stinging nettles. Go. Come, Rosie. Right. So here you see another access to Gooderstone Common, which is now owned by Noel Cater. He is also a trustee of Gooderstone Fen Charity Land. He claims SSI payments for this land, and it goes further round that way near that wood. and he looks after it quite well, according to Natural England say so. And then here we have the 51 acres. I call it Area 51 because we're up the top end that way. We've got a very rare type of grass. Over the back is Fowden Common, which has the dingy skipper. And this way we have a very cool old natural spring and some woodland. So today I'm just coming down to put this on record, the struggle with Mr. Hartley blocking common access. Like, as a commoner, I'm concerned when someone starts trying to block my access to what is public land in a charity under trustees for the people of Gooderstone. That is how it is. It's not just for trustees, and I believe there's actually a footpath that comes out by that gateway and goes straight across into Fowden Common. Very old footpath, but it's blocked now by fences and stuff. Coincidentally, the footpath man came down to have a look at what's been going on there, as to be registering the track as an official road, what it should be, because there's a rush at the moment to register all old footpaths, trackways, bridleways, all user routes, anything pedestrian. It all has to be registered. So anyway, he was having a look down at Hartley's farmyard and he got attacked, and apparently my name was mentioned because I've made a video up here, and I'm perfectly entitled to come and make a video up here. I've actually asked to be a future trustee of this charity when I'm older, and when they need me, if they need me, I've offered to be a trustee. I love this land, it's beautiful, and we've got water just sort of rising from the ground over there, and if you can see a water testing station. So people need access to this land proper. The water environmental services need access, Natural England need access, the people need access, the farmers need access, which is a common access, and one person doesn't get to block his way with the lorries, which is a bit sad that people have to try this on. I already know for a fact that another piece of land, which was charity land, that's on Chalk Row, was actually registered in the 70s as being Mr. Hartley's. I think it may have been his dad that registered it, but he registered it wrong, and he actually tried to nick the charity land. Whether it's intentional or not, we won't know, but it cost the old highways charity of Gooderstone extra money. Look at that. So here's the spring. I'm actually going to try and take you out of my pocket. There's the spring. That's clean, fresh water coming up from, love to know where. Oh, it's very wet around here today. I'm really in the right footwear. The cattle drink from this. This is where their main water supply is. Rosie's having a nice drink. It's lovely. It's a beautiful spot in Gooderstone. And I was quite, when I heard people on the council telling the trustees that this land was only for trustees and no public access, because I'd been and made a video down here, I was quite worried. And so I'm doing this second video to document the history, show you where the accesses are, and let it be known what's going on, because unfortunately the trustees might bow down to a bit of bullying, pressure, lorries parked in the way, farmers going mad, threatening people with all sorts of stuff. I don't know. So anyway, this is another entrance onto Gooderstone Common, and just over there is a gate, and that is the back entrance to Gooderstone Common. But there isn't a footpath to anything there, so it's not an official in route. But I have heard that with the troubles going on over there, Farmer Noel might start using this back gate, which would then give Mr. Hartley more entitlement to bully Fen Charity by parking lorries in the way. Like, it's supposed to be a farm. He was a farmer lorry driver, now he's just a messy lorry driver. And he's squatting the track, which is a road, with his lorries and his scrap. It's as simple as that. It's not really an opinion, it's really a known fact. Like I said, if you Google Fen Drove Oxborough, it comes up on the streets thing. It's a bit of a shame that people have to be so difficult. But I believe I have a common right to look after this land, and a common right, well, unfortunately someone needs to come up here and get that, because that is a big ball of barbed wire. But yeah, they had a new fence put up so long ago, and little finishes like that. This is what I volunteer for. I will happily come and get that barbed wire out of there before a cattle gets wound up in it or something. This is like common community land that was given to the people in a charity. Like I think it deserves a lot of respect. I'm so glad that Natural England respect it and the government respect it. They're not so respectful of people's rights, though. I'm not allowed to come down. Well, I haven't asked, so I'm gonna, but I believe it, I know this was given to people as fireage, but whether you're allowed to come and collect firewood down on here, I know they sell the grazing rights, but they wouldn't let it multi-farm. They've just got one grazier that rents all of it, both pieces of land at the same time, which gets it grazed by their favourite tenant, which has its ups and downs. One, it gets looked after by people that agree to look after it, but on the downside, what it was given for was for the poor and the people, which is what the charity is supposed to do, really. But the modern laws on charities, and just here is another big pile of barbed wire, and I'm hoping the trustees of Fen Charity see this video. I hope Mr. Hartley sees this video, because someone needs to come up here and get this. At some point they had big machinery up here to cut a load of trees down and put the fence in, but they didn't clear the old fence up. And that really shouldn't be left there. It's a bit of a hazard that I shall speak to the trustees about. Right, and here we have Gooderstone Common, Fowden Common, a back entrance to Fen Charity Land, and the bit of woodland that's here. And about once or so a year, for my mum to save her the walking. Anne Melhewish is a 75-year-old pensioner widow of Gooderstone, and she's been on the council for a very long time. She's seen them all come and go over the years, and she's also saved this charity land from being stolen, basically. And the the old farmer had got his hands on it, and unfortunately he decided that he owned it. So although he didn't register it as his own, he collapsed the old Fen charity and almost claimed ownership of the land. So my mum, Anne Melhewish, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm going to get this story on YouTube as well. She's worked so hard. About 15 years ago, someone in the council said to my mum, if no one does anything, we're going to lose the charity land. So my mum was activated, and she worked hard, and she fought and struggled against the local farmer, got the land back, started a new charity, which unfortunately has new rules. It's not for the poor anymore, it's a conservation charity, which I believe it should stick to its roots of giving to the poor. There's a lot of firewood down here. I know a few poor people that want firewood, but that's not what it's about anymore. So anyway, Anne Melhewish set about, she found other people to help her. She found other trustees. Another lump of barbed wire. I don't know why. Oh no, man, I'm hooked up in it. I don't know why the lad who has his cows on here hasn't cleared that up, really. Like, if I was going to have cows out here, I'd probably want to clear that up. But so anyway, Anne Melhewish almost single-handedly, with Lucy and Noel and Judy, sorted the charity out, got a new charity, registered the land under the new land registry to the charity, got grants for the charity, got a fencing grant, worked with Natural England. I'm going to have to go around this. So here is a prime example. The tree wants cutting off the fence and just pinning back up again. This is, unfortunately, trees are a bit like that along this back side, which is why it needs someone with young and useful, needs to come and check on things occasionally. Where was I? Yes, working with Natural England. The trustees of the brand new Fen charity sorted it out. They even got money back from the farmer who was claiming subsidies for it. They've set the charity up, and it's all good again now. And they've sorted it out really well, and I'm so proud of the Gooderstone people that have sorted this out for the others of Gooderstone who would have lost it. Right, I'm not going to walk through that all today with the dog. I really ought to. Yeah. Anyway, all the trees were felled through here for the new fence, and it's starting to bush up and grow over again. but it's nice to see. That's about as much as I'm going to show you today. This is just another walk round Fen Charity Land of Gooderstone, to record history, like Anne Melhewish working so hard to be a good trustee of the people's assets. I'm not liking the look of this barbed wire everywhere though. Like the charity receives money from Natural England to do things like fencing and clearing and everything else. So they actually have got money to pay someone to come and pick the barbed wire up. Oh, I've lost my dog. Oh, don't come round it. Come on. That's it. Anyway, so here we are. It's the 1st of May, which is May Day, which I believe is the People's Rights Day. I love a good protest on May Day.